Yeah, you were like, "Oh my god, Jake's in this like live stream. Don't say that." Because me and him were wasted. And we were like, "This will be funny."
Oh, well done.
Is not connected. There we go. Now it's connected.
Well
I just wasted like 2
Now,
minutes.
now repeat yourself.
2 minutes. Okay. I'm starting an acting course in 9 days. Yay! That's why we've been away for 6 months. We're preparing for that.
Oh yeah.
The championship is vacant. We're only going to do this every now and then on the major shows.
Sorry, I was just checking the live stream to make sure it was working. You're good.
Yeah. That's my fault. I recently updated OBS. Everything's all fucked, and I need to reset my settings. But yes, Royal Rumble is the appropriate time to bring it back, which Callum suggested. And
Like a
it
stacked rumble.
is one of the most stacked Royal Rumble pay-per-views I think there's ever been. This show is absolutely enormous, especially given that WWE Raw is now on Netflix, which is a mainstream, like even more mainstream than USA Network was on TV. Netflix is it's one of the most mainstream funnels of media in the world, and it's absolutely crazy that we're all these years later after. Because I remember, because Regan, you and I watched during the PG era, and how like even though there was lots of people watching the show, it never felt as popular as it does now during that time. This feels different. It feels like people around talk about it all the time.
Even sports stars have been talking about it.
Yeah.
So
I get people in all walks of life coming up to me asking me about it. Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane, the point we're at now. And there's been a lot of things that have built up to this point, but yeah, I am very, very much looking forward to this show. I'm looking forward to all 4 matches on the card for different reasons. And yeah, we have quite a lot. I have upped the ante more than ever on the predictions. We've got quite a few things to put forward, so it's going to be very interesting. And I think it's only fitting, given that the match card is so small, that there's a lot of stipulations added on to kind of make up for that. But yes,
it's good that it's on Netflix now.
Yeah, it is. It is good.
It's one less streaming service for me.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that this show has the potential to be an all-timer if all 4 matches hit. I do think there are things about WWE that I'm not so happy about, but as an overall package, I think there's a lot of good happening. Particularly with one particular man who's my goat and Callum's goat, and that's CM Punk, who I think is just unstoppable. he can do no wrong at this point. It's like every segment, every match he's had in this return run, both in AEW and in WWE, has been an absolute smash hit. And
So he doesn't get injured.
yeah, apart from the injuries, that's really the only big problem is the injuries. And obviously, in AEW there was other problems, but that's outside of the TV presentation. That's backstage stuff. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this show, especially the men's rumble. That match is going to be wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Callum, you haven't said anything yet. What are your anticipations for this show?
No. I'm very excited for the men's Royal Rumble. It's probably the most stacked Rumble since 01. Like, legitimately. Normally when they say, oh, this is the most stacked Rumble of all time, it's a lot of branding. But it actually feels like it's actually very stacked this year. You've got 15 announced. I think now 18, actually, since last night. People announced for the men's match, and boy oh boy is it quite a lineup. Minus Logan Paul. Like it's very stacked this year, and so they've got 12 other potential entrants of surprises, so that's exciting. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the men's rumble. I'm looking forward to the women's rumble. It just hasn't been built up to properly, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I think the biggest reason why
wasted Charlotte's return. Why did they spoil that?
I'm sure there's a reason. I'm sure that there's a reason they chose to announce it instead of making it a surprise. But I think the thing with the women's rumble is the reason why the lack of build is so disappointing is that last year, 2024, the women's rumble was the best match on the show. It was that match.
It was
that
really
women's
good.
rumble was
That match
good.
Was awesome.
Such a good match.
You had Jordan Grace. You had Jade Cargill. Becky Lynch. Bailey winning.
Not just the featured names, but the elimination spots. I think it might be the most creative I've ever seen in a Royal Rumble match. It was ridiculous. The level of athleticism on display was crazy. And also you had R-Truth in the women's Royal Rumble, and that was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So yeah, and on top of that, we got 2 other matches as well. Yeah, and Regan, I assume you're similar. Like you just like me, you also took a break from WWE for a bit.
I'm annoyed because I was watching everything up until before Survivor Series, and then I went away, and then I came back, and it kind of just fell off, and then I didn't see Survivor Series, and I was just like, oh, I'll catch up. I saw the memes. I saw the War Games memes. Yeah, I've seen nothing from it, and then I didn't catch up, and then I was like, oh, Raw's coming to Netflix. I'll restart next year.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did, because I had to. John's last year.
Initially, yeah, of course, you're a big John Cena fan. I initially was considering Raw on Netflix being when we brought back reviews, but I actually don't. After watching it, I didn't want to do a video on it because there were things on that show that really, I felt like just kind of. There were things I liked and disliked on that show, but as a whole package, I really don't think it was as reviewable as I expected. Because it was actually
just a way to get a massive audience into wrestling.
It was very servicey is the word I would use. It's very
it was an episode of Main Event, Saturday night's Main Event.
Yeah, it was jangly. It's very jangly keys. Like, look at these 10 celebrities sitting watching the show, and then bring out like this legend and that legend and
this piece of shit.
My biggest issue with it, though, I mean, obviously the Hogan segment was fucking hilarious.
Hilarious.
But my biggest issue character-wise on that show was the final boss's babyface turn. I really hated that.
Is that what it was? Because a lot of people thought it was just Dwayne Johnson coming out, not The Rock coming out.
No, but the reason why it's a problem is because they had Cody in the segment and they didn't have any conflict.
Yes, Rock. You make fun of my mum.
Yeah.
Oh, Rock,
It wouldn't be as bad if they didn't have Cody in it. Like, just don't have Cody in the segment.
Why did they do that? Just why? And then Rock came out on NXT the next day. Is like, shut up, internet. Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But having said that, since then it's been back to normal Triple H booking, and it's actually been pretty solid for the most part.
It's been solid.
We've had the debut of Penta. He's been great. Everything with CM Punk has been amazing, especially the promos with like Cody and Seth and McIntyre. That's all been wonderful.
And Kevin.
And Kevin Owens on SmackDown. That was awesome. I just watched that about an hour ago. Was not expecting that to happen, but it was great. But yes, anyway. Let's get into it. We got a lot to talk about. So, DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns for the WWE Tag Team Championship. I assume, if I'm going to make any kind of judgment, given that this is a 2 out of 3 falls match, I reckon this will be very similar to the kind of tag matches that you would see on an NXT TakeOver Black and Gold era.
I'd hope so. Hopefully it's given the time and it's properly treated like a good Black and Gold NXT tag match.
Well, if it is, then the match is going to be an absolute baller, because those
it will
matches
probably be the
in
best match. If it is, it'll probably be the best match on the card.
In terms of wrestling, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of... I will say, though, it is kind of unfair to compare a Royal Rumble match to a wrestling match. They're not the same thing. They're very different.
No, they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
But last year's best match was the Women's Rumble.
That's true. It was. But yeah, I think from a wrestling standpoint, this should be an absolute blockbuster if they allow it to be one. And given that there's only 4 matches on the card... Given that there's only 4 matches, it's possible. It is possible for this to be...
Same as last year, it was 4 matches on the card, and one of them was a fucking fatal 4-way.
Yeah, well, remember... And Regan, remember this, because you were at the show. Remember at Elimination Chamber last year? The tag match at that show was awesome.
That was really good. The Judgment Day versus...
Tyler Black... sorry, fucking...
Newcastle
Tyler
Republic.
Newcastle
Tyler
Republic.
Bate and
Tyler
Pete
White?
Dunne. Yeah. Tyler White, Tyler Black.
Peter
That
Dunne.
was Dominic was just getting absolutely shat on.
That's right, as he always does.
And everything else, but yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I think DIY vs Motor City Machine Guns has potential to be awesome.
This is probably the match I care least about, just because I don't really know them.
Yeah, well, obviously
sort of...
the stakes are the least significant, but I think from a wrestling standpoint, this will deliver if they give it the right amount of time.
Yeah, this match could be legitimately like
It's
fantastic.
just normal though, right? Like it's just it's 2 out of 3 falls, but it's just a normal. There's DQs and.
Oh, you know, it's not like a 3 stages of hell match. No, it's just 2 out of 3 falls.
A regular match. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going to do for this match is we're going to predict the winner and also what we think the score will be, which there aren't that many options realistically. Like there's 2-1, there's 2-0, and then in a very, very, very rare circumstance, there's 1-1-1, which has happened, you know, a very, very small amount of times over the years, which is like 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw, which would be tricky on a pay-per-view to pull off. I've gone for Motor City Machine Guns 2-1. I think
I've also gone for Motor City Machine Guns 2-1.
Yeah, and the main reason why I've done this is kind of just a bit of booking psychology, and I won't spoil exactly what that psychology is, but there is a reason why I've chosen them. But yes, Motor City Machine Guns 2-1. I think Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley will win.
Yeah.
What is your prediction, Regan?
I'm the opposite then. I've got DIY 2-1.
All right.
I just think they'll do some heel crap and win. Maybe they'll be able to use Pretty Deadly, even though they said they won't help them, but they might.
True.
We will see.
This is also my Androzani pick.
Oh, okay. So you're tempered in your certainty around it.
Yeah.
And if it's 2-0 or 1-1-1, we will lose points.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, I think it's my Androzani pick as well. Yeah, because I don't know what's going to happen with this match. So.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Assume a Rumble will open the card.
Women's Rumble will open the card. That's my bet.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
But yeah, I'm sure the match will be fun. Then we have...
I'm very much looking forward to this tag match.
Yes. Then we have for the WWE Championship in a ladder match, we have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. They had a match on Saturday night's main event in December, where Cody brought back the Winged Eagle belt, which was supposed to be for a cameo, but then Owens stole it, and now they're doing a sort of... I mean, it's not really a unification because Owens doesn't actually have any title, it's just a belt. So, really, it's not really a true reunification, but for storyline purposes, they're kind of presenting it as one. But for me, the interesting aspect for this match isn't even necessarily about the title, it's about the characters. Because Cody has become frustrated, his title reign is really putting a lot of pressure on him, which was explored with that CM Punk promo on Raw. And Kevin Owens is baiting Sami Zayn towards the dark side when Zayn does not want to fall that way, but it seemingly is just happening, and Karrion Kross is having a great time watching Zayn accidentally fumble the bag and kick people in the face who he doesn't mean to.
Why so good?
Yeah, as yes, a lover of chaos he is. But yeah, Owens and Cody have a lot of interesting things going on with their characters at the moment. I guess in terms of Cody feeling the heavy weight of the crown on his head with the belt, that is where the title comes into play. And I would say the Winged Eagle thing is mostly an aesthetic interest, but it's also, I guess, just it's a sort of a token for Owens to be like, hey, I was screwed over at Saturday Night's main event. You know,
it's a really good way of using using the belt for this story.
Well, giving it a reason for it to stick around longer than one night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been very fun and very cool.
It's a beautiful title. But I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Cody Rhodes is winning this. There's no way Kevin Owens is winning this. I'd be shocked.
No, there's no way.
And it's my Genesis pick. I'm absolutely certain that he's winning.
If Cody's losing, it's not to the WrestleMania.
You're damn right.
I got Cody to win.
The only way Cody loses before Mania is if he gets injured, and he has to vacate the belt.
He's not losing it.
Yeah.
Before.
Sorry, Regan. What was that again? Sorry, what was that, Regan?
Cody to win, and it's my Genesis pick.
Yeah. It's a safe choice because it's like there's absolutely no way Owens is winning.
I've also gone for Cody.
Mm-hmm. But it's not your Genesis pick? No, didn't think so. You're much more of a gambler than I am. Much more of a gambler. Sometimes it...
Well, because logically, I'm going with the main event as my Genesis pick.
Because it's double points.
Get to that in a second.
Yeah. I was tempted to do that, but I have reasons why I've chosen not to. It was tough. It was tough. So, with the Royal Rumble matches, we're predicting the winner, we're predicting the final four, and we are predicting the surprise entrance. When we do it, we'll do surprise entrance first, then final four, then winner. And we're going to start with the Women's Rumble. So, in terms of the match, the build-up has been very lackluster. However, I think it still can deliver. as a match, as was seen last year.
Connor, did you know that Charlotte Flair is coming back in the Rumble? Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew.
That's been the match build up.
Yeah, it has. As by what was seen last year, and I'd say the year before as well, this could very well still be a great Royal Rumble match, even if the build-up hasn't been sufficient.
Last two women's Rumbles have been like legitimately really great.
Yeah. Yeah. They have.
It feels like it's found its footing after the first, couple years.
Well, I mean, I would
When it was
say
introduced in 2018.
I feel like the worst one is 2022. That one was awful.
Well, both those Rumbles that year were fucking abysmal.
Yeah, they were.
You had Shane McMahon being the final fucking four.
Yeah. Well, he booked the match.
Yeah, fucking crazy bastard.
I know. What a weirdo. But regardless, I think this match has a lot of potential. I don't think Shane McMahon is going to be in the women's Rumble. Can you imagine?
I hope not.
Can you imagine?
No, he's going to AEW.
Well, he did talk to Tony Khan, but he hasn't turned up at all.
Yeah.
Maybe they couldn't come to terms. Maybe Shane's like, "Oh, give me the title. Give me the world title."
I think I should fight Kenny Omega at All Out.
Jesus. Anyway, surprise entrance for me. So, the first one I'm the most certain on is Jordynne Grace. She's just lost the TNA. Well, she lost it quite a while ago, but she has lost her TNA championship. Her contract has ended, and unless she's going to AEW for a big bucket of money, I guarantee she's going to probably NXT. I think is probably where she would land first, if not main roster.
I'd rather she goes to the main roster, to be honest, and they push her to the moon.
I don't disagree with that idea in theory.
Yeah,
but I could see her having I could see her having a 1 year run in NXT. It's possible. Anyway,
she needs to learn how to work.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just like when they sent like when they sent bloody Shinsuke Nakamura to NXT because he needs to learn how to work, right? No, the reason why they put them in NXT back then is because they were scared of giving them to Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Jordynne Grace is my first pick for a surprise entrant. She was in last year's Rumble. I think it just makes sense. But this time, it will be her actually signing with WWE. It'll be her proper debut. My second one is one that I was not thinking about until probably like earlier today or maybe yesterday. And it's purely based on a report I saw online. It's the only reason why I'm... Sorry?
City's looking at the dirt sheets.
Yeah, well, you call it the dirt sheets, but it's like accessible to the world.
I know.
Yeah. My second choice is Trish Stratus. She's in Indianapolis. I think it's highly likely. And my third choice is the riskiest choice, but there was a short interview with a certain person recently where it was one of those situations where it was like a no means yes interview. My third choice, and this is probably the one I want the most, is AJ Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's time. Fans have been screaming for this. I think that even though she over the years has said, no, I don't want to do it because I don't want to steal other people's spotlight, I feel like that is a cop-out. And it's about timing, and I don't think there's a better time to do it than right now. And also CM Punk said it's not going to happen, which means it will.
Well, he said it was going to happen in the men's match, obviously.
Yeah, true. Well, it was one of those things where instead of it being like, "Hey, I don't know, it's up to her," it's more like a jokingly, "No, that's not going to happen," and he said it in a very funny tone, and that means yes to me. Because I know that man, and I know what he sounds like, and I know what when
Well, he did the same with Brian.
I know
he
when
came to the
yes, I
AEW.
know when he's lying to my face. I know when that man's lying to my face.
Because he knows him personally.
Yeah, obviously, he's my best friend. Anyway, so yeah, my third choice is AJ Lee, and if that happens, that would be fucking grand because she's a legend. Regan, what are your three surprise picks for the Women's Rumble?
All right, well, I've got one the same as you. I've got AJ.
Great.
And then I've got Alexa Bliss.
Ooh, good choice.
I was just trying to think of someone that's not
She hasn't
there.
been on WWE in fucking ages, like at least 2 years, right?
She's still under contract? Yeah. I don't know. And then my last one
I think she
is
yeah.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah, not a bad shout. She was supposed to... someone said that they talked about the idea of her being on Raw Netflix, and they've talked about the Rumble.
So,
It's-
I mean,
it's-
I think that rumor
Rumble.
was squashed.
I think Becky is as well, surely.
Yeah, but even if that rumor is bullshit, it's still very possible that the Rumble
Even if
is
she
where
just
goes.
comes back for the Rumble and doesn't come back because, she's been acting and stuff at the moment, Seth said. She's doing something for Star Trek and she's got something else that he couldn't talk about.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you for predicting that. Like, that makes sense to me.
So, yeah, Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, and AJ Lee. AJ is the one I want to see the most, obviously.
Sure, it's
Same
been
as
so
you.
long. It's been like 10 years since she was in the company.
I mean, what was her last match when she lost to Paige?
No. So
After
there
that.
was a...
No, I think she won a match
There
on
was-
SmackDown or something.
There was a 6-woman tag after WrestleMania 31 on Raw. That was her last match.
Oh, yeah. she
Okay,
was there
yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
It was the match where where the crowd were chanting like, which of the women's wrestlers, which cock do they suck? It was like they were... Yeah.
You're joking.
I'm not joking. That's what it was.
It's like when what happened? It was like was it like
it was a
it was
match
like
where
Michelle McCool?
it was a match. No. It was not Michelle.
No,
McCool.
I'm thinking of something different. But finish what you're saying.
It was a match where all 6 women had partners that were wrestlers.
Right.
And
So the
they were...
Bellas.
Yeah, the Bellas were in there. AJ Lee was in there. Yeah. Naomi was in there. Yeah, it was one of those matches. And yeah, they chanted "You suck,
Yeah, the
Uso"
same-
at Naomi.
Wow.
They did the same thing at the 2018 Women's Rumble when Michelle McCool came out and then Nikki Bella came out. Which Undertaker,
Let's go,
John
Cena.
Cena. So
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
not great. It's not great.
Nah, it's not. The other thing that's trivia about that match, AJ Lee's last match, was she was wearing a Bailey shirt, the "I'm a Hugger" t-shirt from NXT.
Oh.
Because Bailey
Yeah.
had just started doing that gimmick around that time.
2015.
Yeah, the
What's
year
Santana
before.
came
It was like the year
Rumble?
before. Like 2014 was when she started doing it.
Yeah.
Yes. So, Callum, your 3 surprise entrants for the Women's Royal Rumble.
My ones are a bit more rogue because you've gone with the obvious choices, and I'm not an obvious man. So I've gone with the same as you, Connor. I've gone for Trish Stratus. I think that's a pretty good pick. My next 2 are linked, but in a way, I've gone for Roxanne Perez as one of my surprises.
She's been in
because
the
she's
last
been doing
2.
a little bit with Bailey lately.
And
yes.
What has she just lost, Callum?
The NXT Women's Championship.
That's right, and she's been in the last 2 Rumbles. So it's time for her to come up.
Yeah, so it makes sense to finally move her up to the main roster, have a match with Bayley at WrestleMania. I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be fucking great.
I think. And my other surprise pick is another, both Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, the CM Punk marks.
You know what, Callum?
Are my surprise picks.
You know what would be an interesting WrestleMania match? Would be Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Bayley and AJ Lee.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be very interesting.
10 years later, after AJ's last WrestleMania match,
Where she beat the Bella Twins with Paige.
in a tag match.
Can I just pause you real quick? I just got to give a shout out to Alex. He's watching the live stream.
Is he? Oh, that's great.
Shout out Alex, the future Lewis.
Yeah.
Big up the Maniacs.
Callum has seen the match where I beat him for the LPW championship.
Yeah, ages ago. Bloody hell.
What about me? What about Railgun?
Oh, he's seen plenty of Railgun.
No, I'm saying. Remember when Alex is interviewing you, and he's like, "What about Railgun?"
Oh, yeah. What, back in a
What
cage?
about Rogan?
Bad Luck Fale saw that. Remember
Oh, yeah.
that?
Anyway, continue.
Yeah, of
Sorry.
course. So, no, honestly though, Callum, you might be. I think there is a chance that all three of us are actually right about this. There could genuinely be this many surprise
It all
entrants.
could be, because there's over half entrants are left to be like surprises. There's a good chance that all of these are right.
Well, to be honest, I actually think the women's rumbles tend to have more surprises than the men's these days.
Yeah, because the rosters aren't as stacked as the men's.
I mean, 2018 is the most surprise entrance ever in a rumble. 2018 women's. That was insane. The level of cameos they did.
Mm-hmm.
It was
the first one.
It was like 12 women from the roster and then like 18 surprise entrants.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Because that was the first one, right?
It was the first one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to make the first one.
And then they had another surprise entrant after the match because that was when Ronda Rousey came out.
That was so weird. I'm going to come and point at the sign and then leave.
Yeah.
The sign must go up tomorrow, does it? Because it's not been at Raw.
Yeah, it always goes up at the Rumble. That's always the day. Apart from in the Ruthless Aggression era, they sometimes would do it for the whole year. So like the Raw after WrestleMania 19, the WrestleMania 20 sign went up.
That would be weird.
Yeah. I don't think they had it at every show, but they would have it all every now and then, just like looming over.
To remind you.
Yeah. But now we don't talk about that show because Benoit wins the main event. Such a shame because that match is amazing.
And the finish with both of the guys holding their belts.
Yeah, Eddie and Benoit.
Eddie's dead.
Okay, Final Four. So this is always, I think, out of all the predictions we do, this is one of the ones that where I'm able to pretty accurately do like half of it, but then it's the other two, the third and fourth, that I tend to have a lot of trouble with. I think last year though
Didn't we get it right last year?
Yeah, I think we did get it exactly right last year because it was Gunther and Drew, and that was pretty obvious to me. But I think this year there are options. There are actually options for both matches for what you could do.
Mm-hmm.
So I have gone for Charlotte Flair, obviously, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, and this is a bit of a risky one. I've gone with Jade Cargill, which I didn't even put in my surprise entrance.
Oh. Ah, right.
Yep.
That is a rogue one.
Because the way I see it is I think Bianca and Jade will cancel each other out, and the last two will be Charlotte and Io Sky. That's my prediction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Connor, we've also gone for the same. Other than one, I've also gone for Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Io Sky, but I've also gone for someone who's come in second place in the last two Rumbles, and that is Liv Morgan.
I did consider that.
Yeah. She keeps coming second in everything, and I feel like they're going to keep continuing that trend this year.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout. I did heavily consider that, but there's just something about this. There's something about the Jade Cargill thing just makes sense to me in terms of story. But yeah, you are right that it's highly possible they may make it literally a meme at this point that Liv Morgan always comes second.
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe they could keep doing it till she eventually wins one.
That's the idea that I thought they were doing before the whole world title program that she had the last year.
Yeah. True. Regan, what is your final four for the Women's Rumble?
I'll have to quit. I didn't see that message until it was too late. So I'll quickly just throw some names out. I'll say Charlotte, Becky if she comes back. Charlotte, Becky. What else is in it? Bailey.
It's sad you can't say Sasha Banks to complete the set.
Yeah, can't say the four horsewomen.
They never did that, did they? They never did the four horsewomen as the last four because it was always one of them as champion, wasn't there?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right, those three, and Liv Morgan, sure, because her big hinge body woman will keep her in the match.
I mean, honestly, it's not impossible that is the final four. It could happen.
So we'll say those four.
Yeah. Yeah, so I really don't want it to be Charlotte Flair, to be honest, because she's already won it before, and she shouldn't have won it then either. In 2020, it should have been Shayna Baszler, because Charlotte challenged for the NXT Women's Championship with her Rumble win in 2020 in the COVID Mania, and beat Rhea Ripley for it, and it was just all kinds of Vince bad, really.
Thank God they had a much better match.
At
3 years
39,
later.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that match was awesome.
It should have been Shayna Baszler in 2020, and it should have been Sasha Banks in 2022, not Ronda Rousey. The last two have had the exact winner I wanted. That was Rhea Ripley and Bailey. But they're just going to do it, aren't they? They're just going to have Charlotte Flair win. I mean, there is the very slim chance they go with someone like an Io Sky or a Bianca Belair, because I mean, Bianca won in 2021, so that would also be another repeat. But it is possible that they could go with those. But I've gone with Charlotte Flair. I feel like it's kind of just a foregone conclusion. I just think it's going to happen, sadly. And she's going to challenge Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany, no, she doesn't need the bloody belt.
Well, hopefully Tiffany beats her. That would be nice.
That would be nice. I mean, she's had enough. Let the new talent.
Look, listen, I'm not saying Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton can't have a great match. They can. They're both very athletic.
No.
But it's just
a very good match.
It's just
Charlotte just doesn't need a win.
I just don't want Charlotte Flair to win the Royal Rumble again. I just don't care about it. We've already seen it. If Charlotte hadn't won in 2020, I think I'd be more open to this idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sadly, I'm predicting Charlotte Flair to win, but I really don't want her to. What about you, Regan?
Could not think for that one.
Well, you've already chosen your final four, so it's got to be one of those.
Yeah. True, duh. Well, yeah, I obviously don't want it to be Charlotte, but I mean, it's not going to be Liv. She just had the title. Bailey won it last year.
So it's either Becky or Charlotte for you?
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be Charlotte.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll go. It's Charlotte, but hopefully not.
I mean, there is a slim chance they could do a Becky Rhea rematch, but they probably shouldn't, to be honest. They probably should do something else.
Yeah, we don't need to see that. We saw that last year.
Yeah.
We don't need to see Becky Hogan again.
We don't need to see anything Hogan again, please.
Yeah, Charlotte. Charlotte's going to get it.
Yeah. Callum, what's your prediction?
The Rumble always represents hope. So I am a hopeful man.
Not in 2015.
And I'm going for... I'm going with the people's champion and the people's choice. I'm going for the one and only Io Sky, because she's going to win the Royal Rumble and she's going to go and face Rhea Ripley, and that match is going to be awesome.
You're damn right, it
Io
would be
Sky.
awesome.
It's going to win the Rumble.
Damage control 2 in a row.
Speaking of damage control, I wish Dakota Kai had won.
Yeah, I think someone suggested that maybe because she's injury prone, they might not have wanted her over Lyra Valkyria.
Give it to the Kiwi. Give it to the Kiwi. Anyway.
Yeah. It's possible they may give it to her at some point in the future, but yeah, you're right. I was a little like I don't dislike Lyra Valkyria, but I just...
No, but she's so deserving.
I just like Dakota is just such a great human being.
I mean, they say there's barely any Irish wrestlers. There's barely any Kiwi wrestlers, so...
Yeah, well, Jay White is great, but... Man, that match he had with Billy Gunn last year was... Ooh. It's moments like that make me...
He couldn't just beat Billy Gunn. He couldn't beat him. He just couldn't, straight up beat him.
It's moments like that make me wish Tony Khan was a braver man. That's what I'll say about that. And not just let the attitude...
young talent lost to an old guy.
Billy Gunn's an Attitude Era legend, and Tony Khan was a teenager when Billy Gunn was in his prime. It's very, very hard for Tony Khan, who's a very he's a really nice guy, but he's not a strong guy.
It was one of the worst matches of the year.
But it's all because of the booking as well, because Jay White
the booking was horrendous.
Jay White's not only amazing, but he's current. Like, he's in his prime. And he's in New Japan.
But Billy said that doesn't work for me, brother.
Billy Gunn is like 60, and admittedly, he's in amazing shape, but he's 60. And in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Jay White was one of like the top 3 guys for a while. He was it was a monster. He was so good, and he's still that good. But he had that match with Billy Gunn, and it was a DQ, and Billy Gunn beat him up for most of it. And I'm just like, oh, come on. Throw him a fucking bone, man. Throw the Kiwi a bone. Anyway. I hope you're, in terms of what would be entertaining, I hope Callum's right, but my money's on Charlotte Flair, sadly.
I will be right.
Now, let's talk about possibly one of the most anticipated matches. I mean, I think we said this about last year's Rumble too, but this is one of the most anticipated matches I think I've ever had, ever in my history of watching wrestling.
Last year was very much carried the fact of Cody and Punk, I would say, and obviously you had really good wrestlers like Drew in it as well, who were having really good stories at the time. This is very star-studded. Just from the first 15 lineup.
Well, I think this takes what we had last year and it adds more on top of it. I think
You've got LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Penta, Braun Breaker, Carmella Hayes, Priest, Escobar, Fatu, Gable. Just Jey Uso. What a lineup that is!
Yeah.
Just fucking hell.
Hey, what happened to the other Tongan? Did he get injured or something?
Injured in War Games. Same with Bronson Reed. Yeah, the War Games match, the men's War Games match was a very, very violent affair, and a lot of people got injured.
I mean, he's
Well,
not.
Tama Tonga could be in it. Just
Luckily,
Tonga
he's the one
Loa
that got
can't be
injured
in
and
it.
not Tama Tonga, because at least he's the not botchy one. So.
I loved that thing on Twitter where Carmelo Hayes said Tonga Loa was going to be in the cover of 2K25, and everyone was like, haha, what a funny joke. And then he actually is, technically, because he's on the Bloodline edition.
Melo don't miss.
Lol.
Anyway, I'm fucking
And they
hyped
lost
for
to
the men's
Jimmy
rumble.
Uso on SmackDown last night, and that was really stupid and dumb.
Yeah, that was dumb. I am mega hyped for this match. I cannot wait for it. I think it's going to be... It has the potential to be an absolute barn burner. My surprise entrance. So, the surprise entrance for the men's rumble... There's a lot of uncertainty around it as opposed to who can and can't be in it, because it all depends on a lot of factors. It's a lot more steep in terms of ask than the women's one, outside of AJ Lee, who is probably in this camp. My first choice is Trick Williams. He's lost the NXT title. He's had it multiple times. Like Carmelo last year, he's had enough time in NXT. It's the right time for Trick Williams to come to the main roster. And I think he'll do really well. Because in NXT, he was super over. Very, very charismatic guy. Second choice is the TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry. Yeah. That theme song will get a massive pop. Wasn't it like number 4 on the British charts, Callum, at one point? Like recently?
It was something crazy.
Hendry?
Yeah, Joe Hendry's theme. It was like number 4 on the British
Yeah,
charts
it was
recently.
last year. Last summer it was, yeah. That's when the peak of the meme was at its peak.
Yeah. I think Joe Hendry will be in this Rumble. I think there's a reason why they chose to have him win the TNA belt now.
When he
Did you
wasn't
see
as
what
hot.
he did at Clash of the Castle?
Sorry?
Did you see what he did when Clash of the Castle was in... Where was it this year?
Glasgow.
Scotland? Yeah, did you see what he did?
No?
He rented one of the billboards right next to the arena and just put his face on it.
Of course he did.
Nothing else, just his face.
Yeah.
But when all the
he has
WWE
to put it over in Scotland, yeah.
the arena, they saw him.
Joe Hendry's great. He's a great guy. Yeah, he's my second choice. I'd love to see him in the Royal Rumble. I think the crowd would be very happy to see Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
I remember him from WCPW.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw him live at WCPW.
Before that,
I saw both him and Drew. Imagine if both him and Drew like do something together, then it will be like 2015 all over again.
Yeah.
For me.
Didn't you also see Cody as well? Am I correct on that?
Yep, Cody against Matt Riddle. I saw Penta as well. I saw Penta live as well. So this is the WCPW Rumble, if anything.
Well, if they have Kurt Angle in it, then yeah, it'd be very WCPW. I mean, technically they've got Rey Mysterio. He was in WCPW.
Yeah, he was. I didn't see him live.
Yeah.
I saw Drew, Penta, and if Hendry's there.
Imagine if they imagine if they had bloody I don't know, this a lot of funny.
Simon Miller came out.
Jesus, no. Simon Miller was at All In 2023, wasn't he?
He was at All In.
Yeah.
He was a security guard.
Yeah.
And Michael Oku, he was there as well.
That's right. Michael Oku is going to AEW though, for sure.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. My third choice is the riskiest one. My reasons for why I think this is going to happen are pretty stupid, but I'm just going to predict it anyway because I want this extreme unlikely possibility to be true. My third choice is The Rock. Don't tell me it's not going to happen, because it's always...
Because he'll come in and he'll throw Roman out, and then that'll set up them.
Listen. On Netflix, they did a promo where they counted down, and on the 1 number, The Rock was in it. He was in the photo.
I really hope they don't do the whole he comes out 31 thing that everyone keeps banging on about. Why wouldn't he just come out 30?
Because he's the final boss. He's the final boss and he changes the rules.
Yeah, but why would he want more people than less? You just come out of 30, wouldn't you?
No, because you allow them all to beat each other up and get worn down, and then 31 is like
Yeah,
minutes
just don't
later.
come out. You don't have to come out. You're the final boss. Just come out when you want to come out at 30.
Yeah, true. I mean, it would only be done for shock value, wouldn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. I guess he wanted to be a good boss and not take someone's spot.
No, yeah, exactly. That's what you should do. You'd be like, I'm taking a spot because I'm the final boss. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's true. Because he's not a nice guy. Apart from
Yeah, that made
Raw
more sense for the character.
Apart from Raw on Netflix, where he's like, "Say hi to your mama."
Yeah, oh, you old Rock, don't be all that. Oh, you funny guy.
But I'm predicting The Rock. It's probably not going to happen. But I have this just stupid suspicion that it is. If it did happen, it would be crazy and it would be very fun. Okay, Regan, your surprise entrance for the men's rumble.
I have one the same as you again. I've got Joe Hendry.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is just, and he wants a match against Cena. So at least if he comes into the Rumble, he'll get to interact.
And
with
you
John
just
Cena.
know that TNA want him to hold the belt and be a massive billboard for their company in the Royal Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean,
well, so does the
Jordan
Fed
Grace
because
came
they
in
now
last
are in a
with the
co-partnership.
title, right? So
That's right, yeah.
then I've gone for actually another TNA person. One of them, I couldn't pick both of them because I picked somebody else. I've got Jeff
Abyss.
Oh, Jeff Hardy. Okay.
Yeah.
I was
That
going to say
makes
both
sense.
of them, but then I picked somebody else. But yeah, Jeff Hardy, because he was actually on Insight recently as well, and he said
Yeah, I watched
They-
that.
would like to come back one day.
He's been clean for 3 years now, which is a really good sign.
Yeah,
I think it's the longest time he's been sober in his life, and a lot of that has to do with the ice baths he takes in the morning. As well as other things, obviously, like therapy, discipline, focusing
good
on
to see that
healthy
he's
eating
finally
and
getting back on
exercise and managing his, stress. But the ice baths do a lot for him, which is great to
God, and he
see.
talked about the bloody match with Sting.
Oh, God.
Of match with
Yeah,
Sting.
Victory Road.
Oh, God.
And then
Jesus.
my last one was going to be Matt Hardy, but then I thought, oh no, maybe Randy will come back.
Yeah. I was thinking of choosing Randy Orton, but also I felt like that wasn't as spicy as The Rock.
I thought I couldn't pick 3 TNA people, so Joe Hendry, Randy, and Jeff,
Yeah, true.
because everyone loves Jeff Hardy.
Well, that's actually not true, Regan, but a lot of people, especially in like 2008, loved Jeff Hardy.
Okay, well, I guess people our age.
He is a fan favorite among many. That is fair to say.
I'm not a Jeff Hardy guy.
Yeah, I actually rewatched the video when you discussed that, Callum. The overrated wrestlers video we did, and one of the main reasons why is because
he's great. He is great, but he's just not. He's not my guy.
Well, the reason
Punk's
why
my
you said
guy.
that the reason why you said that is because you don't like his promos and also the drunk driving.
I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, I would agree with the drunk driving. The drunk driving is terrible, but thankfully that seems to be in the past now. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So his action figures.
Yeah.
I'm sure at least one of those guys will come out, hopefully.
Yeah. Callum, your 3 surprise entrants.
Right. Well, Connor, we've matched on one person. I've also gone for Trick Williams. It makes sense. It's probably time to call him up. And, he's done all we can do.
So you haven't gone with Joe Hendry then?
No, I haven't gone for Joe Hendry. Because I've gone for 2 other ones that I think actually probably very possibly can happen. One of them is quite funny because he's been away for a little bit and done pretty well in Japan. We'll talk about him in a second.
Okay.
I think Trick Williams makes sense. It's, he can interact with Carmelo Hayes in the Rumble. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And bring him up, whoop that trick and try and get over.
Trick
maybe he can do
Williams
something
and
Mania.
Roxanne Perez, it's time for them to go to the main roster.
Exactly, it makes why I've picked them. My second pick was a recent tag champion in Japan, in Noah. He did very well, actually. I've gone for Umos. My
Great.
Homo sapiens rise up.
Oh,
I
God.
think he's on his way back because he
Legendary
vacated.
tag team wrestler Omos.
Yeah.
Remember when he had that reign with AJ Styles?
Yeah. He's a tag team specialist.
He has the record.
Obviously.
He has the record for most eliminations in a Rumble without being in the match, and that's 2. In the 2021 Royal Rumble, he got 2 eliminations without being in the match.
What did he do? Reach in and pull them out?
That's correct, because he's fucking massive. He's like 7'4".
He did exactly that.
And it's not like the fudged Andre the Giant numbers. He's an actual 7'4" person. But yes,
yeah, he'll come back and we'll do. I don't know if he'll get a big pop or not, but I think he'll get a pop from the internet because of this stuff in Noah.
Yeah,
he was throwing hoops. And I've also gone for a former internet darling who has been like the indie hardcore guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
It's been a while since he's been in the company.
Mm-hmm.
He recently reacted to one of his only WrestleMania moments, which was the best thing on that show. At WrestleMania 32. I've gone for the formerly known as Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona.
Mm-hmm.
It's time.
Yep, it's time, and he recently had a Ring of Honor match with Chris Jericho as well, so he has been more on TV as of late, as opposed to the indies. I think him and Chelsea Green on TV could be dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's been 5 years.
He's been away for a good long while now.
He got released during the first lockdown, so it's been 5 years. So you reckon he'll come out as Matt Cardona and bury the Zack Ryder gimmick?
I mean, he said Zack Ryder's dead.
Yeah. I reckon Triple H would allow it, honestly.
Yeah, Vince wouldn't have.
Oh, God, no. Vince wants to own everything about you. He gives you bloody... It's like when, oh, this is really lowbrow, but it's like when prostitutes get like a stage name and the pimp owns the name or something. It's just, that's how Vince sees you. Diabolical, man. By the way, more things came out about him today. Seems to be around the Rumble weekend, a lot comes out about Vince, because it was last year's Rumble weekend when he was exposed as a sex trafficker by the accusee. Ugh, horrible, man. Great documentary, though.
Yeah, it was.
I knew about 98% of it already, but it was... For people who hadn't researched that, it was a great way of exposing him. I think the funniest thing about him was when they were talking about like the health and safety, the livelihood of wrestlers who've either got their life fucked up or died because of the business. And he's like, I don't care. I had no sympathy. It's not my fault. Just zero responsibility. Oh dear. Anyway, moving on.
On Monday, that Paul Heyman did, and you thought he was talking about Brock.
Yeah?
He was talking about Roman. He kept saying, the one. I thought he was going to say, maybe Brock will come back tomorrow.
I doubt it. He's still very much involved in that legal case.
Allegedly.
There's text messages. It's hard to dispute them. I feel like there's more evidence to say that it's true than it's not. But I'm not a legal expert. My girlfriend is, though. So every time I see something about that Vince case, I always send it to her way because she can give me like her lawyer opinion. And she's always telling me like, this is probably what Vince is going to do next. and she's usually right. Anyway, moving on from that old fuckwit, the Final Four. So, because I predicted The Rock to be a surprise entrant, there's no way he wouldn't agree to it without being in the Final Four, because it's Dwayne Johnson, and his ego is larger than a double-decker bus. So, The Rock, in my world, is going to be in the Final Four because he's in it, for me. And he's going to be in it with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and John Cena, which is an absolutely enormously stacked Final Four if that were to happen. It's like 4 of the biggest stars the company's ever had as the Final Four. Yeah, that's what I've gone with. Callum, what's your Final Four?
Again, very similar. I've gone for CM Punk, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think that's the most heightened drama you can get out of a Final Four with the participants in the ring.
Yep. That is also a great shout.
Because my thinking is that I think the final 5 and 6 will probably be like with Drew in it as well.
For sure.
And their aim will be to try and get both Roman and Punk out, but Drew will fail.
Yes, he will fail again.
Yeah. He'll try and injure Punk again, and then he'll reverse it into a GTS.
Oh, no, imagine this, though, Callum. He goes for the future shock, CM Punk gets out of it and pushes him into a spear.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's the favour.
Because Drew McIntyre despises Roman Reigns. He always has.
Mm-hmm.
They have always been on opposite sides.
Indeed.
Yep. Regan, your Final Four for the Men's Rumble.
My Final Four are the exact same as Callum's, actually.
Mm-hmm. CM Punk, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins.
Because
that's fucking stacked, though.
It's Cena's last Rumble. If he's not in the top,
we
4,
have not. The last time Roman Reigns was in the Royal Rumble was 2020.
That was when he was the big dog.
Yep, it was right at the end of the big dog. And he came second. He was last eliminated by Drew McIntyre. But this is the first time the Tribal Chief has been in the Royal Rumble match. It's so different now. And it's interesting because Big Dog Roman Reigns is always associated with the Royal Rumble because he's such a big part of it. 2014 with Batista, he won 2015. 2016, he lost the WWE title to Triple H, and in 2017, he came out at number 30, came second, lost to Randy Orton. And then 2018, he came second and lost to Shinsuke, and then 2019, he was out. He wasn't in it because of his leukemia. And then 2020, he came second and lost to Drew McIntyre. But every Rumble since then, he has been the champion. He's been the Universal Champion, so he's never been in it as the Tribal Chief.
Roast the Universal title.
But yeah.
Red Blood title.
Well, when he had it, it was the Blueberry title, actually.
I know, but still. The original one. Ugh.
Yeah, the red one. Yeah.
The titles just blue or red.
The Jam Championship.
So lazy when they were just blue or red titles.
Yeah. I just wish it was the Winged Eagle WWF title and I mean, people are going to be like, oh, you're just an 80s mark, and the bloody Aztec big gold belt from WCW. Like, those two belts are just the perfect world titles.
Oh, yeah, I love the big gold.
Yeah. 1988, both of those titles were active, and then yeah, for like 10 years, both those. So 88 to 98, both of those titles were the main belts in American wrestling. So the winner of the match, I have tossed up on this for the entire of this month leading up to this match. At the start of January, I was leaning one way, and as of in the middle of January, I was kind of 50-50. And literally days ago, I have changed my mind on this. And then today I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm overthinking it. I think Triple H has built to this match incredibly well. I think he's done a fantastic job of making you second guess yourself at every turn, which is exactly what I want out of a Rumble build, because so many builds to Rumbles don't do this well, and it becomes a foregone conclusion. Last year, I thought CM Punk had a small chance, but I think Cody was overall going to win. I was like kind of like 60-40 or 70-30 on Cody winning last year. This year, I genuinely think it's 50-50 between CM Punk and John Cena. I don't think Roman's winning. I'd be surprised if The Rock was in it and won, and I definitely don't think Seth Rollins is winning either. I think the winner of the match is going to challenge Cody at Mania. I don't think they're going to challenge Gunther, because I think the prestige of the two belts are very different at the moment. And I think they will have the winner of the Rumble challenge Cody. It's just which one. And at the start of the month, I was pretty convinced it was going to be John Cena, but after that promo on Raw, it all depends on where does Mania go. Do you go with Cena versus Cody and Punk versus Reigns? Or do you have Cena face someone else and Reigns face someone else? This is my Androzani pick because I'm so split on this. But I'm going to do a little prayer circle. And this is stupid and you should never do this, but I'm going to pray. I'm going to bet with my heart, not my head. I'm going to predict CM Punk to win. But it's my Androzani pick because I could be very wrong about this. I'd be very wrong about this because there's a lot of things that make sense about John Cena winning this match. But damn it, I want to see CM Punk main event WrestleMania and against Cody. I think that would be such a good story. It would be genuinely fucking glorious. But I don't know. No, I have to lock it in. I'm not certain about this. I think I could be very wrong. I just want it badly to happen. I just badly want it to happen. I've wanted CM Punk to main event WrestleMania for like 15 years at this point. It very well could happen anyway. They could have him face Roman on night one. And that technically would be a main event, but yeah. This is my rationale behind it. My rationale behind it is mostly to do with the fact that Punk and Cody as a story with them as characters on the show is something that has been built for so long now. Because you remember they had their face-off last year and they were in the Rumble together last year. There is a built-in story around Punk and Cody. And while Cena and Cody would also have a lot of potential as well, I feel like Cena's path to the world title, to the Big 17, it very well could be him losing to Cody at Mania, but it also could be much, much, much further down the line at the end of the year. And there was something that John Cena said in one of the press conferences after he announced his retirement where he mentioned that he wasn't going to turn heel ever in this run, but he mentioned something about frustration. I feel like losing the Royal Rumble match could be a way to do that. It also could be him winning and losing at Mania as well, I admit that, but I feel like whilst Punk and Roman is certainly a match that will happen at some point, you don't have to do it now. You could do it at SummerSlam. Or Mania next year. Probably SummerSlam. But yeah, there's good reasons for Cena and Punk to win this match, but I'm going with Punk. I need it. I need it to happen. I need Punk to main event WrestleMania. So yeah, that was long. I think we got a comment. Is this... being on the phone while he's talking is crazy. Brock's gonna win. Is that Alex? I assume it must be Alex. Punk, and Punk. There's your Rumble winner. Brock's gonna win. Damn, bro.
Yeah, that's him because I'm messaging him while I'm doing this. That's
yeah,
why
no one's as much of a troll as that. Only he would comment something like that. Yeah, the sex pest piss enjoyer is gonna win, sure. Anyway.
Like he won the Money in the Bank when he wasn't announced, and he just walked out.
Oh yeah, ruined it for Mustafa Ali. He thought he was winning when he did his entrance.
I only have a year to cash in.
Did you know that, Regan? Mustafa Ali thought he was winning the match when he was having his entrance. It wasn't until he got into the ring.
I listened to his thing on Insight.
It was when he was in the ring he was told that Brock was winning.
He was told someone else was winning, right? Or was it? He didn't know it was Brock.
Or maybe he didn't know it was Brock, but he knew that someone was going to come out and win.
Somebody else is going to win. He didn't know it was Brock.
Yeah. Crazy. Anyway, I have to put a pin in it because I can't keep tossing on this one. It's literally a coin that won't stop turning. Regan, your prediction for the winner of the Men's Rumble.
I mean, do I even have to answer the question?
Well, I feel like your answer is similar to mine in the sense of you probably want it to happen, right?
I mean, yeah.
This is his last one.
It's his last one. This will be his third win.
Yeah, if they really want to go down that GOAT legacy, have him tie Stone Cold and then beat Ric Flair.
Even like you say, if he doesn't win the title at Mania, I don't know. I feel like he's got to win it. I mean, it's his last one.
If Cena wins the Rumble and loses to Cody, surely Cody has to turn heel, right? He has to go full Homelander.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would lose to. I think if he wins the Rumble, he's winning. He's beaten.
If you want to turn Cody heel, have him against Cena. Like, it just makes sense, right?
Yeah, I think if Cena wins the Rumble, he's winning at Mania.
You reckon?
It's his last. Well, the only thing. Well, if he wins,
I would be more confident on that. I would be more confident on that if Mania was the end of his run, but it's the start, and that's where I give pause for thought.
And also, if he wins the Rumble, he won't need to be in the Elimination Chamber, and he's, it's his last of everything. So surely he'd be in one more Elimination Chamber. That'd be the only thing.
Well, he said he would be at the pay-per-view. He didn't say he.
You think you'd want him in? You'd want him in the chamber.
That's a good point.
My only hesitation about him winning the Rumble. Yeah, if he wins the Rumble in the chamber.
He did say that. Yeah, Cena could lose the Rumble and be in the chamber match. Yeah.
He said, like, how can I get to Mania? I could win the Rumble, I could win the chamber, or I could win Money in the Bank.
I think one thing that people are forgetting about Cena is that, well, maybe he's trained harder this time, but his recent matches have not been the same as his peak. He has slowed down a lot. He's slowed down a lot.
He's so long out of his prime, so
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's my only concern. Yeah, if he wins the Rumble, he won't be in the chamber.
He might not feel like, as a performer, he might not feel confident that he could carry a WrestleMania main event as well as CM Punk.
Maybe he doesn't even want the 17.
But then at the same time, at War Games, they teased Punk and Roman, and there's the whole Paul Heyman, fucking what's it called? The Paul Heyman favor. Fuck. It's so. Again, all I'm gonna say. This is the thing, though. This is what is so great about what Triple H has done. Is he's made me so confused and not know which way it's going to go.
I would have picked Punk if Cena wasn't having his last run.
But I think that's the magic of it, right? Cena being in it makes it so exciting because Punk could easily lose because of it.
I mean, if the final two are him and Punk...
Oh, it probably will be.
It'll be like old time's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, when were they both last in the Rumble?
Together? That's got to be 2011. 2014? It's got to be 2011. Because Punk was champion in 2012 and 2013, and Cena was challenging Randy Orton at 2014, and he wasn't in last year's Rumble, so it's 2011.
Which is what? Is that Nexus Punk?
Yes, Nexus Punk, and Cena eliminates him.
When he was just throwing out everybody because he had the Nexus in there.
They were both in 2010 as well. That was Straight Edge Society, Punk, and Cena came second. He lost to Edge.
Yeah, the top two has got to be them, and John has to. John's getting the win.
Mm.
Don't tell Josh Hunt.
Well, oh yeah, true, because he's the biggest CM. Well, he says he's the biggest CM Punk fan, but I feel like every CM Punk fan feels that way, including Callum, who you need to predict your final. I feel like I already know this because of something you said earlier, but you may have changed your mind.
I've always gone with the same person I think is winning the Rumble, and it's more out of real hope than I definitely think he's going to win. I don't think Cena's going to win. I don't think he should win the Rumble. I think if you're going to you have potential to do a year-long storyline where he's scratching, clawing, trying to break that 17th world title reign, and I feel like doing that now, 3 months into the year, I think it's not. I don't think that's the story they're going to want to tell. I think he for the first time in Cena's life, I think he needs to face adversity. So if it wouldn't feel right for him winning it, I hope Rock's not going to come in and win it. I don't think he should come in and win it. I don't think Seth's going to win it.
I don't think Roman Reigns should win it either. He should stay away from the title.
I don't think Roman should win it either. He only just lost it last year, and he should also have an effort of trying to get it back. But after a while,
I also feel like Roman Reigns should have non-title feuds for a while, like blood feuds instead of gold feuds.
Yeah. Put him with Drew.
And they obviously could have someone from the mid card or just slightly below main eventer win it and push them to the moon. They obviously could do that
and challenge Gunther, right?
Yeah, they could, or even Cody.
I mean, I know he tore his ACL 4 months ago, but Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther would be insane at a Mania.
For me, there is only one winner of the Royal Rumble match. And it's CM Punk.
You bastard, you've done this before. You've done this exact
I've done it before. Yeah, I'm doing it every single time until he gets a big, massive win. CM Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble match.
And is it your Genesis pick?
And it is my Genesis pick.
I have to put my Cena shirt on tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
One that AJ signed.
Yeah, the one that AJ signed. Oh, it sucks. I don't think AJ's going to be in this Rumble, honestly. AJ Styles, I mean, not Lee. Because his injury is really bad. Like, it could be career-ending. Sadly.
For the Women's Rumble, let's have Santina.
Oh, God. We had that a while ago, didn't we? Like, a few years ago, we had Santina. And Santino couldn't take any bumps, so they had to eliminate themselves.
Or maybe his daughter can come in.
That's true, actually. She's in NXT. It's not impossible. You know who would... None of us mentioned their names, but you know who would be two very good surprise entrants in the Women's Rumble would be Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. I'd really like that a lot. They're awesome.
Yeah, I don't watch NXT, so that's why I didn't say any of them.
Well, they're two of the best women's wrestlers in the world. That's all you need to know about them.
Why you said it.
I'm sure you've seen Twitter froth over them, especially Stephanie Vaquer. Like everyone on Twitter seems to just absolutely goon over them.
Because didn't she wrestle on Forbidden Door? Then a couple weeks later, she was in NXT.
She wrestled Mercedes Moné, Regan, that's Sasha Banks, if you didn't know. She wrestled Mercedes Moné on Forbidden Door last year, and then 2 weeks later, she was on NXT.
You think she'll come back or stay with AEW?
Mercedes?
She's there for a long while.
She has a long contract, and she said that after that, she might come back. She has said that she probably will come back to WWE one day, but not anytime soon.
Sasha.
Anyway. So yeah, another thing that's great about tomorrow, my friend Stefan is going to be there. He watched Mania with me last year. He really wants John Cena to win, and I really want CM Punk to win. So we'll be on.
That's gotta be Super Cena for the win.
Wow, that's great that you're wearing that singlet. And the classic singlet. But yeah, I think Cena and Punk will be the last two. And
It kind of should be.
it should be. And if that happens, I think the only other option for me would be CM Punk and Roman Reigns to like tease a further feud. I think that is possible. But if it was Cena and Punk, me and Stefan are going to be very tense because we want the opposite person to win of each other.
I was
CM
tense
Punk,
last
you-
year
it's-
when it was
it's-
like Punk and
on the
Cody.
other side of it.
Yeah. But you just know, like, if it's Cena and Punk, like that is in the zeitgeist of WWE fans, that is an all-time feud from the past.
If it's Cena and Punk, it'll be like when Luke and I were watching 28.
Yeah. Their
You had
last
to read the match.
the last time they wrestled each other, if I'm not mistaken, was that match on Raw in 2013 before WrestleMania
He
29.
hit him with a pile driver.
That
Yeah,
match is so
I
fucking good, and it's still to this day, it is like CM Punk's I'm sick of this company masterpiece.
Yeah, it's one of their. I think it's their best match that they had
In
and it was on
ring for
Raw.
sure. Obviously, the most major
Yeah.
story match is Money in the Bank, but in terms of in ring, it is their best match, and it's because CM Punk was so pissed off that Dwayne main evented Mania again instead of him, that he just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to have the main event of WrestleMania on this show," and it was a better match than Rock versus Cena by miles. And then he went on to actually WrestleMania, and he went and wrestled The Undertaker in another great match, which was also better than Rock versus Cena. And then he went on to SummerSlam and had another all-timer with Brock. And
Yes.
Vince is just like, "You're wrestling Triple H."
Kevin Nash called your cell phone.
Oh, God. Anyway. Vince sucks. CM Punk rules. The last thing we have on this... Oh, yeah, and if it's been a while, so I'll just remind. Double points for the main event, 3 points for the final four, 3 points for the randomizer, which we will do now, and 2 points for each surprise entrance. So if you get all 3 surprise entrants right on a match, it's 6. Or if it's for both matches, it's 12. So you can get a lot of points if you get all 6 of the surprise entrants. So, randomizer, and we did this last year as well. I'm going to generate a random number between 1 and 30 for each of us, and that will give us an extra 3 points on top of our predictions if that number wins the match that they're in.
Oh, even if it's not the person we pick.
Oh yeah, no, this is a completely separate thing.
I see.
So, firstly, we have my number for the Women's Rumble, which is 4.
Ooh.
Possibly
Oh,
possibly the worst one to choose.
Only 1, 2,
It's
or
the
3.
worst early number you could get, really.
I think
out of,
so,
like,
yeah.
early numbers.
Because 1, 2, and 3 have won a lot of Royal Rumbles,
Yeah, that 1,
Yeah.
2, 3 are better odds.
but 4 is probably the worst ever option. Callum's pick for the Women's Rumble is 28.
Oh, let's go! Come on!
Really?
Come on!
As soon as I saw that number, I saw Charlotte Flair like in the
That's
entrance.
that
in
is
my head.
such a Charlotte Flair number. Oh my
Yep.
god!
Yep, 28 comes out at 28, throws out 6 women, wins the match.
Come on, 28.
Regan's number for the Women's Rumble is 25. Also a
Oh.
very good number. Wow.
Right, if number 4 wins, Connor's been calling up trips.
This is random. This is a random generator. Imagine if you double dip though. The one that you predicted is the number that comes out.
That's what I'm
That would be
hoping for. Hopefully,
insane.
Io Sky comes out at 28,
Yeah.
but it doesn't feel like she would come out at 28.
Charlotte Flair comes in at number 4 and eliminates like 20 women.
That would be fucking crazy. Oh my
Buries the
God.
roster.
She can come out at 25. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah, she'll be late 20s.
My number for the men's rumble. 27.
Oh, oh no.
That's good.
No one else has won more rumbles than from that spot.
I don't think that's true anymore. I think it used
to be for ages.
I think it's either 1 or 30. It's one of those two.
I noticed they also changed the person that does the speaking over for the Rumble. It used to be Graves, and now it's Jackie Redmayne.
Yeah, well, Graves is in the doghouse at the moment.
in the doghouse. What the dog doing? Don't know.
Yeah, he's on the naughty step.
He was on NXT a couple weeks ago.
Pretended to be happy about it.
Yeah.
I don't
All
believe
right. Callum's number for the men's rumble is 30.
Oof, that's. I mean,
What?
You can't get much better than that.
What?
28 and 30. Oh my God, let's go.
Rigged.
Maybe The Rock should come out at number 30. I don't know.
What? Open it.
Is BS.
Is there a PlayStation controller in here?
I'm on my live stream, by the way.
Hey, but is there a PlayStation controller?
No.
What the hell?
It's Daniel.
Connor, is there a PlayStation controller in your room? I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got one in my room.
He's
I've got
yeah, I've got
he's
That's fine,
drunk
me.
and he smells like
Of
weed.
course he is. Oh, Daniel.
Is there a PlayStation controller in here?
Oh my God, he was shirtless as well. I
Oh,
just
damn.
looked at the stream.
Same. I can see him. Oh, Daniel.
That's
Well,
funny.
That's going to be a great memory to see. It was his birthday recently, and I was annoyed because I was like, there isn't as much content, but next year's birthday I have something to give him. Very, very, very good content. I won't tell him about this, and I'll keep it a surprise for his birthday next year.
Yeah, just put the stream on.
No, I'll just record that part of the stream and send it to him.
Yeah.
Be like, do you remember this?
No.
Anyway,
Anyway, I got number 30.
Yeah. Regan's number for the men's rumble is 5.
Ugh. At least I got one good number. Five. Nah, way, that's not a win.
Oh boy, it'd be real shame if I don't win the title from this position.
I mean, John could come out at 5 and win it.
Oh, no. No.
Yeah, sure.
No.
Sure.
I genuinely think you're more likely to see CM Punk win from 5 than John Cena.
Oh, we've got Roman Reigns in the chat, guys.
Is he?
Well, not actually Roman Reigns. It's someone who's spamming OTC.
OTC. It's a Roman stan.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
OTC. They probably saw it on the YouTube like feed or something.
No.
Look, I think Roman Reigns will have a great time in the Rumble. But
find his controller.
I think CM Punk will eliminate Roman Reigns, and it's gonna get a huge
As he
pop.
should. That fake tribal chief.
Jacob Fatu's the real tribal chief.
I love you so low.
He's just been MIA.
He has been for a
Some people have been saying that Jacob Fatu could be the one that gets the most eliminations in this match.
That would make sense.
He comes out like really early and just wrecks house.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu is so good.
Yeah, he's great. His promo with Priest last night was actually really great.
Jacob Fatu is a great promo. He's scary. Oh yeah, there's a meme I have with Anthony where I always go, oh yeah, did you know that Jacob Fatu has been to prison? And we always say it back to each other. We just keep saying it. and there's Anthony's a primary school teacher, right? And he has kids in his class that watch WWE, and like they all do the tribal chief, like one in the air, like they put their hand in the air in class. And then they were talking about Jacob Fatu, and Anthony went up to him and said, "Hey, did you know that guy's been to prison?" And they're like, "What? No way!" Don't roast me, you unemployment YouTubers. I mean, I have a job, it's just not this. Anyway. Wow. I'm actually kind of speechless now. This show is just going to be so exciting, especially the main event.
Ugh.
The thing is, though, and this is one last little comment I'll make about it. Oh, yup, at Fat Owen's fat. That's your classic line. I will say, even though I want Punk to win, I think Cena winning, whilst I feel like there are better stories to tell, I wouldn't be mad at it. It's not like back in the day. It's not like back in 2013 when he won, and I was like, oh, so The Rock's beating CM Punk then.
Twice in a lifetime, right?
Cool, sweet. Fucking hell, that was stupid. Should have just been a triple threat match.
Yeah, but Vince.
Yeah, twice in a lifetime. Okay, I'll ask you one more question. I'll go Callum first, and then Regan, then me. Who is the worst possible person to win each Royal Rumble?
Hornswoggle for both.
Regan, who is the worst?
But my actual serious answer would be probably for the women's. I guess personally it would probably be Charlotte. I don't really want her to win.
What?
Not
funny.
And for the men's, it would probably be Rock. I don't really want Rock to win the Rumble.
So you're just going to completely overlook the mid-card and the jobbers, and you're just going to talk about the main stars?
Yeah, well, the mid-card, I don't mind someone from the mid-card winning matches win the Rumble because, you know, if they have the great potential, that's fine. Jobbers, I guess, if you talk about jobbers, I guess R-Truth for the men's.
Like, if Giovanni Vinci won the men's Rumble, that would be a bit weird, don't you think?
It'd be very strange.
Although, him challenging Gunther, there's a story in that.
Exactly, so there you go, Connor.
Yeah, true. But I don't feel like it's a hot take to say I'd rather see The Rock versus Cody Rhodes than Giovanni Vinci versus Gunther at WrestleMania.
Maybe.
Oh, maybe. Anyway, Regan, who do you think is the worst possible person to win each match?
For the women, Zoe Stark, because she is just shite. She is so boring.
She hasn't really done much lately.
No. And but still, it wouldn't be good if she won the Rumble. I mean, it wouldn't be believable, but still. And for the men, who's really crap, and it just wouldn't make any sense. Pat McAfee.
Oh God! Oh God!
No, he's going to get eliminated by Corey Graves.
Being in the Rumble?
Oh yeah, Pat McAfee and Corey Graves. Yeah, imagine Pat McAfee wins the men's Rumble, and then Corey Graves beats Cody Rhodes at the Elimination Chamber for the title.
Michael Cole can win the Rumble.
Oh no! Remember when he was actually in the Rumble and he got eliminated by Jerry Lawler and Booker T after Karma scared him?
He can be in the Rumble and then he can go on and stay undefeated at Mania.
Ew.
He can beat Cody Rhodes and finish the story.
For me, the worst choice for the Women's Rumble.
Hyper Niven. EFAB.
Oh, well. I've got nothing against BFAB, but it would be a weird choice.
Michin.
Michin's married to Keith Lee. That's pretty based.
Eat defeat.
Let me just look at the roster names.
Raquel.
Oh, yeah. No, that's it. It's Raquel Rodriguez. That's the worst choice.
Ugh.
Great
I had
suggestion.
to watch it. Elimination Chamber.
Yeah,
Look at me, I have a big back.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe Natalia, but I think even she would be better than Raquel.
Yeah, at least Natalia's a baddie.
Okay. The worst choice for the Men's Rumble is Hulk Hogan.
Well, that's not going to happen.
But in terms of the active roster, I mean...
Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Did that won the tag titles.
Tonga Loa.
Oh, he would mess up the point. That would be his botch of the night. He would mess up the point to the sign.
Yeah, he wouldn't point at the WrestleMania sign. He would point at the Titantron.
Or he'd point down at the commentators or something.
Yes, he's like, I'm going to Michael Cole. This is the road to Michael Cole. Oh yeah, so you know last year when Cody pointed at the sign, then he pointed at Roman? So Tonga Loa wouldn't point at a champion, he would point at the commentators.
Or he'd end up just going for
No, but what that means is that he's not going to have a match with the world champion. He has locked in a spot.
He's going to commentate the main event.
He's going to commentate the main event of WrestleMania.
Or he'll be like Vince and he'll have a match against God and win.
No, actually, you know what he'll do? Instead of pointing at the Mania sign, he does a Bret Hart in 1997. He looks at the camera, spells the letters AEW to the camera, and then he goes to All In Texas.
What the hell?
Anyway, that's enough tomfoolery, I think. Any last words about this very stacked show we're about to watch?
CM Punk. CM Punk. CM Punk.
You can't see me. You can't see me.
Yeah, how are they going to eliminate him if he's invisible?
Well, Punk said he's always seen him. He's always seen him. So there you go.
Remember what Roman said in 2017? I'm the one guy that John Cena can't see.
God. He's a phony, fake ass bitch.
Oh god, Big Dog Roman
He's
is
a
such a...
four-timing fake ass bitch.
Suffering succotash.
I love now that Big Dog Roman's in the past, he's become a meme. It's so funny. Double triple power bomb!
Believe in the Shield.
Oh dear.
He does that actually a surprisingly amount because he did an NXT as well when the Shield came.
That's right. Hey, Big Show.
Believe in the Shield.
Oh yeah, you got a Shield tattoo.
Me and Alex have it.
You wanted me to get it to complete the trio, but I don't get tattoos.
Bloody bastard.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm straight edge. Meh.
Well, straight edge people get tattoos. Look at CM Punk.
Yeah,
It's not 'cause
Punk
of-
is covered in tats.
Yeah, I know.
It's like his only vice. Well, to be fair, CM Punk is not a pure straight edge person because a pure straight edge person does not practice promiscuous sex. And CM Punk, before he was married, practiced a lot of that.
He was Chick Magnet Punk.
He was. You know, there was an interview with Teddy Long where someone asked him who are the biggest womanizers in wrestling. His first answer was Batista, and his second answer was CM Punk.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Batista will come.
I mean, what was the meme back in the locker room was how big is Batista's dick?
Batista?
Yeah. Ugh. Anyway, I'm looking forward to this show. This should be so much fun if they get it right, which Triple H, for the most part, tends to. Not always, but he usually gets it right.
The show's at 7 a.m. for me.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So, 7 p.m. No, not 7, sorry. 11 p.m.
It's at midday for me. It's perfect.
Mm.
Yep, I'm going to have a room full of people. Stefan's coming over, and Dan and Anthony are both going to want to watch it. So that's cool.
Actually, the worst person to win the men's Royal Rumble would be Sam Weston.
I was just on call with him. Just before
He would
this.
do a dragon, and that's how he would win.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
Hope you all enjoyed. I bid you adieu, a good night, and a goodbye, a bang.